Hi, my name is Valeria Hado, and I am making this presentation for my Communications 103 class at Southwestern College. Today I'm going to be talking about fast fashion and its effects on the environment. Fast fashion is one of the largest growing industries in the world, and fast fashion started actually in the 1800s, but it became popularized in the 1990s when Zara opened their first store in New York in the 1990s. With the rising trends, fashion has, been changing a lot. Therefore, fast fashion has been growing significantly due to the fast manufacturing that they do and of clothes that are trendy or on style. So fast fashion, it may be on style and it's quick to get, it's very affordable, but there's a lot of cons to it. There is the very large waste of textile on the environment, so it leaves a lot of clothing that they don't necessarily use, they throw it away and it becomes trash, and that's just really bad for the environment, and I feel like that's something we need to pay attention to. So I, as many others, have shopped in these stores that are from fast fashion. Some of these stores are Forever 21, H&M, Zara, Boho, Fashion Nova, Pretty Little Thing, any of those stores that just, sell a lot of things in very large amounts, and every so often they change their style based on the new trends that there is. So the reason I have decided to talk about this topic is because I am familiarized with all these with all these topics, and simply because I have done my research and I am very passionate about environmental change, and this is a really big impact, and over the years, recent years, it has become one of the largest pollutants in the world, but we'll talk more about that later. So in this speech, like I said, I will be talking about fast fashion, the good things about it, the bad things about it, and how it really affects us overall. So basically my main points are that fast fashion, it has affordable clothing, but it does create a lot of waste for the environment, and it needs to develop, it needs time to develop ways to have more environmentally safe laws with it, because it's too much waste of fabric, and yeah. So fast fashion in reality is like when a trend starts, the companies that are in fast fashion will start to make the same styles, and they'll sell them in very large quantities. So they'll try to stay with the trends. And the problem is that creating all these trends, although they sell it for very cheap and they give, really good discounts sometimes or whatever, the bad thing about it is that all of that clothing, since it's very unoriginal because it's created in very large quantities, many people end up with the same style, and many people don't like that. Many people like having their original style, therefore they end up just throwing, or they end up not buying the merchandise. So what happens to this merchandise that isn't bought? What happens is that it is thrown away, but it is disposed of in a way that isn't ethical. So it'll be thrown away and it'll end up in the ocean, it'll end up in the sewage, it'll end up everywhere it can basically get. So it's developing a land waste that we have had for a while in the ocean, and it is mostly said it's made of plastic, which it is. But like I said, in recent years, it has become a really, really large pollutant, and now there's a lot of clothing there and that land waste that's been forming. So there's many places that have made these decisions to change a couple of their laws, like in the UK, they started a new initiative to do it a little bit more ethical. But yeah, right now, actually, fast fashion is the second largest pollutant in the world, the first one being oil companies, which it is a really big thing because oil companies have always have been a really, really big pollutant in the world. And to see fast fashion grow so fast into being number 2, it's very concerning. or it should be concerning. And another bad thing that fast fashion has is that their employees don't get paid very much because they don't hire employees from the US, since the clothing is very cheap material, very bad material because it's made to be disposed of. They get, different workers from different places where they could, charge them cheaper, such as there was in Cambodian, a garment worker might earn around 85 cents an hour, and in India someone might make 58 cents an hour. So like that's below minimum wage anywhere in the world. And it's unfair for these people to be selling so much, making so much revenue, so much profit, and paying their workers so little for all that work that they're doing. It's just, like I said, unethical on their part. So what caused this problem was the fast-paced change of trends. Lately in the fashion industry right now, there has been a lot of different trends going on, clothing-wise, and many people just try a bunch of different things, and these companies are trying to keep up with all of that, and therefore they're just making bulks and bulks and bulks of clothing. But trends change really quickly. And what they do is, like I said, that they dispose of everything that they don't sell, and then they start manufacturing again a lot of clothing. And the same thing happens. It's like a cycle, and that's not very good because it's really, really horrible for our planet. And since it has been around the 1800s, it didn't popularize until not very long ago, and it's rapidly growing, and it's making a really, really bad impact on our world. And there should be better ways to keep up with the trends. So fast fashion is a big problem, and it needs to be solved soon. It has many ways and many solutions for even for us as consumers. There's many solutions that we could use. For the industry, what they could do is use recycled materials, which is what I would suggest. That's one of the main things that they could do. When the material's not needed or it's not used, reuse it. I think that would be a really big game changer. It would just take off a lot of the waste that it has. And another solution for the company is to find a way to keep on trend with manufacturing so much. So or making pieces that don't make sense, or making pieces that are just not gonna get sold. So yeah, and then some other solutions that I could give would be for us as consumers. It would be to if you're gonna buy clothing from fast fashion industry, don't throw it away, don't dispose of it just so easily as it's made to. Donate the clothing, reuse the clothing. All of those things would be really, really big. And right now, being very original with your clothing is very on trend, and fast fashion is slowly dying. And let's hope it doesn't make a comeback, because it's just really bad for the environment, and the environment concerns all of us. So overall, fast fashion has a short time limit benefit, which is it makes a quick dollar for the industry, and then we get quick clothing. And yeah, it's easier for teens or adults or whoever wants to buy from fast fashion to feel safe with keeping up with the trends, because they're not losing money. It's not like going to a high-end store and splurging money on a shirt that's $800 that's gonna run out of season in 2 months. It's more like going to a store, buying a shirt that's on trend right now for $10, disposing of it 2 weeks later. It's just not ethical. So it's easier for teens to feel safe using these methods, but it shouldn't be. And the unoriginality of it it creates fast fashion. Fast fashion creates a lot of additional waste because of their unoriginality. That is what people don't want. People want to be original with their clothing. Clothing is just something that speaks to people, and that's a way of expressing themselves, and fast fashion doesn't let people do this. So please, next time you go to Forever 21, Urban Outfitters, Boho, Fashion Nova, anywhere, just keep in mind If you really don't need the piece, don't support these companies. If you can, if you have to, that's totally okay. Just keep in mind, try not to support them too much. There's other alternatives. Thrifting has become very popular nowadays. That would be a great idea. You know, vintage clothing, all of those things. They're all very good alternatives that would, you know, be great for instead of fast fashion. So thank you for listening to me, and